Hey guys, what's going on? TripletheTDog here, and welcome to what will be a number 5 of the talk time. It's getting a little delayed on when I was going to record this, just because of, with me being a bit lazy, and, I've been, like, distracted by, like, 10 other things. But yeah, here we are. In the corner, you'll see just random gameplay. I never uploaded it. I recorded Doom Beta a long time ago, so you're gonna see just that in the back. Because, I thought I'd just throw something random in there because I was like, you know what? E3 happened. Bethesda talked about shit. That was like one of the first ones I watched. I think that was literally the first conference. I don't know. And so I was like, well, I have this Doom gameplay I never showed off. Not that there was anything to show off, really, but I thought I would just put it in there. But anyway, welcome. This is number 5, I think it is. I hope. God, if I know. Here we are. I'm all over the place because I just sort of clicked record and was like, alright, I have my quote-unquote notes of what to talk about. I don't... mainly just what happened. So they're not going to go in order because I really don't know what game was talked about first and announced. Just to kind of give my sort of basic opinion on things. So the first thing that I saw was Bethesda. They opened it up with, well, first they opened it up with Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb for their pre-show, and then sort of like recapping everything. I can't really stand people that are like, God, is this all just rehash and shit like that? It's like, people don't really take the time to just let them admire the games that they've made and like worked hard on. Like, these people bust their ass off day in and out for us to just play a game that's literally $60 or less or more, depending on DLC, season pass, and shit like that. But these people have to bust their ass to make sure the game actually works. And yeah, sometimes it's like, well, the game didn't work or it's not optimized. It's like, it's super easy, and to some people it might be, but it's just a lot of shit. You try to fix one thing, you could break a million things. It's just, who knows with that shit, what could happen. And then sometimes, the devs want to work hard, publishers want it out, who knows? I really don't know the scenes behind the thing, but to me, what I hate is that everyone got so upset with, like, rehashing. Like, I know Fallout wasn't that great of a game, I'll be honest with you. Like, it was good. It was an okay game. It wasn't a good Fallout game. I'll always say that. It just did not feel as good because some of the changes that they did I didn't exactly like. And I felt a little depressed with Bethesda's side quests in Fallout were a little lackluster, though they may have turned it around in some of the DLC, I don't really know. But their side quests were literally because they were really happy about the settlement thing. And don't get me wrong, it's a cool concept. Even if I was making the game and changing it up, I would be so excited about the damn thing. So, like, I would be proud of it, thinking, man, this is a huge change in the Fallout thing. But I don't know, the settlement thing was okay, but then it just became that was your side mission. Preston bitched at you to go do something, you went to do it, a settler got kidnapped, this happened. It's literally going to the same place where sometimes I'd probably see the same bodies from people I killed previously there just to kill more people. So, I don't know, it was kind of all over the place. Me, it wasn't a great thing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I like that they did a pre-show kind of mind what they'd done and talking about the stuff Fallout 4 and they're just everything and having fan videos and stuff like, I don't know. And me, I understand it. I would be too if I was someone who, because like I'll make shitty little compilation videos and put together things and they're not good and no one gives a fuck, but it's like in my mind I'm like, you know what, I made this and I'm proud of it. I really don't give a fuck, even if it wasn't anything amazing. This little video, like, I did this in a game or I played this game, it was all good memories. So like to them it was just they made a game, They're proud of it. They work their ass off. They want to just show it off again, even if it's the same shit. But because it's E3, people are impatient. People want fucking games. They want new games now. They want this. They want that. They want the new Elder Scrolls game. You know, so everyone's just so fucking toxic. Instead of just enjoying video games, everyone's so goddamn bitchy. But anyway, Bethesda opened up with the pre-show thing. Then they started off with Quake, I think it was. Again, these might not go in order because I really don't remember what went with what. Quake Champions. I don't know if the champions mean anything in a sense of to the Quake series. Some people were like, "Yeah, it's Quake," and then some people were like, "Oh, it's Quake Champions." And I'm not big on Quake, but I played Quake before I really knew what the fuck Quake really was. In a sense of I didn't know it was that competitive shooter. I played what was it? I played Quake 3 on the 360. Then I played like one really old Quake. And I just have to check because I'm using a shitty capture to bring up the thing. I'm just usually just window capture and playing my video. But what was it? But yeah, I played like an old PC Quake game, and I don't know what the fuck it was. I really don't know. But there was that. So, I don't know. We'll see if it's as good as the other Quakes that people have been wanting, because everyone bitched about Doom, that it's too slow. And everyone's like, this isn't like Quake at all. It's like, well, you know this game's Doom, right? This isn't Quake. I mean, I get that you want fast, but I don't know. Some people just don't understand it, I guess. I don't know. People just wanted Quake, and now they give it to you. They did, and this is what I said, I don't really know what order they went. I know that they talked about Legends, which I guess was like an Elder Scrolls style card game or something like that. I like card games in the sense of Magic the Gathering. I liked Yu-Gi-Oh! Before it kind of went all crazy. I liked the basic Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff when it wasn't all the crazy shit. Like Fusion was like the biggest thing, and Exodius, I think it was, or something like that. You had to get all the cards you in your hand and you win instantly. Like, I remember that shit. Other than that, not these god cards, not all these X and Y or Z things, or whatever the fuck they do. Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Academy shit. If you watched me, I played that stuff. I don't think I played the new one with all that yet, but hell, I suck at Duel Academy on the Game Boy Advance. But, It seems interesting, but here's the thing, it's not really something, of course, a lot of people bitched about, but then a lot of people are like, you know, this would be just a fun, chill game. A lot of people have just, you know, especially people who don't really care for card games are just like, what the fuck, why are you bothering? But hey, the card game is actually pretty popular. If you look at Hearthstone and you look at a couple other games like Magic the Gathering, it's pretty popular. Even still to this day, even as long as I've been playing it, still people do it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Still has its moments. They don't really make many games of it, and I wish they did a little bit more. And Pokemon Trading Card kind of, I don't know what the fuck happened. Nintendo was just like, you know, we like games more. I used to play the Pokemon Trading Card game for the Game Boy. I had it from my Game Boy Color. I don't know if it had color, though. I can't remember. I think it did, yeah, because I remember, like, red and shit. Like, there were colors in that game. Now, here was the thing I put in my notes here. The Elder Scrolls Remastered. Before I read that, I think, what was his name? Todd Howard or somebody like that. I don't remember the names very well. Talked about they are making a new Elder Scrolls. But they want it to be what their vision is, and it almost sounds like they just don't have the technology yet that they want for it. I didn't fully read it, but that's just what I was getting from, like, the gist of it. And I understand that. I am in no, like, don't get me wrong, I love Elder Scrolls, and I think I like it a little bit more than Fallout. I was always a sword and shield / bows, crossbow, like, I was always that era of guy, armor, and, like, just looking crazy in those games. I like that style a little bit more than Fallout. And the quests, I always like their quests. I think Oblivion had really good side quests, I think. Maybe even Skyrim, it's been a while. Where, you know, there was a lot of story behind your quests, what you were doing, your side missions. Even if they were better than the main story, were still pretty fun. I do want to play Oblivion again. I don't have it on PC. I want to play it, but it's like part of me just doesn't feel like I could. I don't know. But in my head before I read that was they were going to do a remastered because it was like, in my mind, a good marketing idea to get people kind of back into Skyrim. Like, okay, people who can't mod on the PC will start playing it on console. Um, People who playing on PC, it becomes 64-bit, so mods get bigger or better. I don't know. I just know that John was really excited when it said 64-bit because his always crashes with all the mods he has, so this might be better for him. So he was excited for that, and I think it's just get everyone to start playing it again, whether you're a guy who likes a lot of mods and just all that too. And as I read, it was like free for anyone who already owns Skyrim and all that shit. So that's cool. And in my mind, I just feel like it's a great way to kind of get people to play Skyrim again. I know that it's like, well, why the fuck it doesn't change anything? Why do you want to play Skyrim again? The game's been around for, what, 7 years? I don't know. Let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, it's about 5 years. 5, 6 years almost. Because it came out 11, 11, 11. The big deal there. But I thought it was a good idea to kind of remaster and then somewhere, because the remaster thing, or revised, or whatever the fuck they call it, the enhanced edition, comes out in October. And E3 stuff happens, I think, usually in June, like it did now. I don't know if it changes. So I thought, well, somewhere between October and then the next E3, they were going to tease something of Elder Scrolls. Like, this was just my huge theory, and I just spit everywhere, that my huge theory on everything was they were going to have, the remastered, so people were playing it, people were interested. Then, after people have played it, they did everything, they got it. Somewhere between October and next E3, they would have either a teaser or at E3 tease for the new Elder Scrolls, or show something of the new Elder Scrolls if they have not teased it already, just to get people like, okay, we're back into the Elder Scrolls vibe, because everyone was kind of in the Fallout thing, because they announced a lot of Fallout 4 stuff, along with DLC and all that stuff, so that was just my thought. But then when they said they were already making it and stuff, so it's like, okay, they are making it, and of course they would already be making it if that was their plan anyway, because, if they weren't developing, they wouldn't tease anything. So, I don't know, that was my huge, idea, theory. It might just sound like complete bullshit, but I don't think the revised, remastered, whatever, is a bad idea. I'm just gonna make sure when this thing ends, this video. So in my mind, it wasn't a bad thing. I think, too, with 64-bit, that's good for PC, too, for mods and shit like that. So, I don't know. That is just my opinion. And my huge theory on it. I could, like I said, be completely fucking wrong. But, I don't know. That's just my thought on it. Just get people into playing Skyrim and just an Elder Scrolls game again. People really wanted Morrowind remade. I never played. I have Morrowind. I never played it because it's like, I don't know. It's hard for me. It's not because of the graphics, but I don't know. I can't get into it yet. I don't know. Some RPGs, I just take a lot of time before I actually start getting into them. And be like, what, I'm going to take the time to, because fuck, I'm really late into the Dragon Quest VIII thing. I just started playing that on the PS2 recently. I never played the damn game. John's been hounding my ass to play it. Now I am. If you've played it, we're having the adventures of Yangus and his fists. I like the name Yangus. I don't know why, it just sounds silly. But, yeah, so there's that. They also did a lot of updating for Elder Scrolls Online, which is, pretty cool. Like, a lot of, if you're into it, I really don't care. It's not because I don't like Elder Scrolls Online, I have no problem with it. I have nothing against the Elder Scrolls Online. I just can't get into MMOs anymore. My last MMO I played, like I said, was World of Warcraft, and even further back was City of Villains. I just right now don't I'm not doing much. If you heard my last update, I don't work right now. But it's not just, it's the fact that certain MMOs have subscriptions. This one you don't even need to for online. For Elder Scrolls, you just buy the game and you got it, and then there's DLC stuff. But it's not that, it's just I don't have the mental energy to want to devote so many hours into an MMO and I want like and MMOs aren't heavily story based. Like there is story, but it's a lot more reading. So I want more of just that. I just want an RPG. I don't want an MMORPG. There's just so a huge grind difference sometimes in those. Sometimes not, but I would prefer just what like Skyrim to a new one. Like just keep it a regular RPG. I'll stick with that. Um, but I don't know. That's just my opinion on things. Like how I don't know. I'm all over the place right now, but I don't really care for MMOs, online MMOs, too much anymore. It's still cool that they're working on it. At least now, people who are like, I don't know if they're going to keep working on it or not, will stop. Now we know. With that. And of course they talked about Fallout 4 shit and Fallout Shelter. That was pretty cool. With that stuff. I don't know. I mean, Bethesda wasn't like an over-the-top conference. It was still pretty decent. Just people got their hopes up for a lot of things, like anybody would. But I don't know. And I'm clicking all over the place. I'm trying to do something while I'm doing this. That's why I'm like scatterbrained. But I don't know. That's just my thing on it. Let's see. Anything else? Fallout Shelter stuff. Fallout 4. They also announced Prey. I think is like a new IP. I'm not sure. Like, I know what the original Prey was. I don't know why I have Fallout up now. I'm just gonna get rid of this. It's just gonna keep distracting me. But there was just something that we could have for a good time. But they did announce Prey. The question is, like, is this just a completely different Prey? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Because, they did have Prey 1. That was awful to a lot of people. A lot of people did not like the first Prey. Some people might have not cared. But Prey 2 was in development, and it looked really interesting because I think it was like parkouring, bounty hunting, and all that shit. And we haven't really had bounty hunting style games, so a lot of people were pretty hyped about that. And then it dropped, and now they have this, and it just looks interesting, but who knows? Like, here's the thing, we have no idea. There was no gameplay, it was just a trailer of showing shit. We have no idea if this game is just going to be very generic and nothing really, or if there's what's going to be the difference that separates this game from others. But I'm interested to see what happens. They announced it, so pretty excited, pretty crazy about that. So, there we go. There's all the Bethesda stuff. EA, I didn't watch. I missed the EA conference. I know they talked about Battlefield 1. They showed gameplay, I think, too. And a lot of people also recorded gameplay of Battlefield and got to put it. Certain people did get to put on YouTube channels, I think. From what I see, I enjoy Battlefield a lot more than Call of Duty. A lot of people are like, oh, well, Battlefield's just a snore fest because it's so open. It's just like, I understand that. I don't really mind the openness of it. Though I am actually better at the close quarter stuff like Call of Duty and things like that than Battlefield, I just like Battlefield more. I don't know. I feel more immersed, I guess, in Battlefield than I do in a Call of Duty game. Though they did show someone did show Call of Duty stuff. I didn't give a shit. Not because it's Call of Duty and I just instantly hate on it, but I don't know. I'm not expecting much from Call of Duty. They haven't really been all too crazy. Like, they're trying this whole thing out with Future, but it's really just, I don't know. I don't really care for Future stuff. I've always liked the World War era stuff more. They talked about Mass Effect. I missed out on that. I really enjoyed 1, 2, and 3. A lot of people didn't like 3 because of the ending. If you haven't played it, I mean, I won't say anything about it. All I know is I guess people didn't like it. I think it was because the choices you get at the end were kind of stupid, as well as not explained very well and made not a lot of sense. That's just my guess. I don't really know. Throughout the thing, games never really end very well. It's been almost a common thing for games. I never have high expectations for endings. So when they do, they get me like, oh my god, like, not Uncharted, I haven't even fucking played that. Um, what was it? Last of Us. I played on the PlayStation 3. I got to see the ending of that, and I was like, that was a pretty damn good ending to just have it. It didn't need to be anything spectacular, and it just ended right, for their story of like Ellie and Joel or whatever. So I don't know. I didn't care too much. I enjoyed the ride of what Mass Effect was. Yeah, it was a lot of build up to a kind of a meh ending. And I don't know. I guess this Mass Effect one, this new one, I don't think has any matter of what the fuck we did in the others. I don't know. Really don't think it. I mean, it might be a fresh start on a whole different person's story. I don't fucking know. I didn't look into it, so I can't say anything. Ubisoft came up. I caught I don't know if they said much in the beginning. I caught the ending, I guess, or towards the end of them showing For Honor. For Honor, everyone has so many mixed opinions. I've seen people on Twitter who got into the alpha, whatever. I yawned. I don't know. I'm not even tired. It's like 6:50. Um, some people got the alpha real early before they even announced at E3. Especially people who are popular streamers and things like that. They didn't get to stream it, of course, but like people I know that I've watched, um, they were like, the combat's really cool. The combat's really awesome. It's interesting. So many other people who've just watched the trailers and games are like, this looks stupid, it's boring, it's slow, and then Ubisoft's gonna fuck it up. And I know Ubisoft doesn't have a great record, but some companies don't. It's just Ubisoft gets a lot of the hate. They just are more known, but there have been other developers who've made shitty games, or fucked up on games. It happens to everybody, so I'm not like I am weary of certain Ubisoft games, but this also just, I don't get hyped for games. I don't get crazy excited for games because any developer team, any publisher, whatever, can fuck the game up in some way or another, or just give up on it. So it's like I never get that excited for it, for any game, even if it's not Ubisoft. Even if it's Bethesda, they could have announced Elder Scrolls. I'd be happy and excited, but at the same time, I wouldn't get myself overly hyped. I wouldn't look at every video. I wouldn't be like watching things over and over because they could fuck it up. Just as they did with, in my mind, they kind of did with Fallout 4. Some people think they did good, perfect. In my head, they kind of fucked up what Fallout was to me because I didn't like some of the things they did. That's just my opinion. It was still a good game, shooter. A lot of the additions to the game was awesome. I just would have preferred some of the questing and things like that to have been better because that just ruined it for me. It turned from me wanting to do all the side missions to I just want to get through the game now. I didn't want to get through the game. I wanted to enjoy more of this world, but at the same time, I was like, there's really not much going on here. So there was that. But For Honor looks interesting. A lot of people are like, oh, the camera looks low, the AI looks a little dumb. It's a fucking early something demo. I think it was alpha or beta. If it's alpha, then they still got lots of work. A lot can change from alpha beta release. Some people are like, well, no, not really. It's like, just try to stay a little optimistic. If you like video games and just enjoy them, you should just shut up and wait. I don't know. I don't know. It always drives me nuts with people like that. They're just I get that you want to just think negative to not get excited for it. I understand that completely, but it's like just when it's a really early access look at a game and people just shit on it. I don't know. It's like you're judging so much off a demo, and then there's so many people who actually got hands on with the game and like it's really awesome and I can't wait. So I don't know. Maybe it's a game that's not meant for watching, but more for experience and playing yourself. It looks interesting. The combat is very interesting. I don't know how it looks though. Like, there's like the analog stick up, down, bottom left, and bottom right, and it's like you have to get, if you match it with his, you like deflect, and they like change your stance in fighting. I don't know. It looks a little bit methodical, like slow paced, but it still looks really cool. Almost kind of like a rock paper scissors, but not really. I don't know. It looks interesting. I'm not excited, but like I'm interested to see how it will be and where it will go. Watch Dogs 2 got shown. My only thing with this is that it looks like they're not trying to pull too many punches with this one. They're kind of just flat out showing us the game. Like, this is what it is. Because the first one, they were like, look at all this and that, and it was kind of a lot of bullshit that people got upset about. it looks interesting. Hopefully, the story will be a little bit better than the first one. Like, the first one wasn't terrible. It just, yeah, the graphical downgrade was huge for certain people, and people didn't like that. Um, in my head, I just think that the story could be better. Hopefully, that like there's more personality. I keep yawning because I keep reading. Reading makes me yawn, and I'm reading my notes here of what, like I'm reading. What am I going to talk about next? But Ubisoft thing, like, I don't know. Watch Dogs 2, I just hope that the main character has more personality. That's literally all I'm hoping for with that, and a better story. I missed the South Park thing. I'm not a crazy South Park fan anyway. I know bits and pieces and things of South Park, and I've watched some episodes. It's not like I don't care. It's just that I missed it, so I didn't get to see it. And anything else that they showed, I think they showed the Ghost Recon stuff. Looks cool. A lot of people are iffy. Ghost Recon's always been pretty cool to me. I always liked Ghost Recon games. Some people really like them. Some people find them kind of boring. Um, Sometimes they always feel like they are missing something. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited. It's also cool because it's like co-op and stuff, and maybe me and friends will play. I don't know. Problem is, if it's like a requirement 4, I'm always stuck with 2. It's just me and John sometimes. But who knows? I missed the Xbox E3 thing. I missed it. I know they talk about Gears and stuff, and a lot of other things in like a new release of an Xbox. Like they're gonna be making like a slimmer, bigger. They had a lot of people like, what's the point? You know, Xbox, like you're gonna be putting things on PC as well as like Dead Rising 4 and shit like that they showed off. I don't know. I think it's just in a sense of trying to show that they want to stick with the console stuff too, like that it's not dead with them, that they're still trying hard with it. Who knows? I really don't know anything about it. I don't know the marketing behind all of it, so I can't really say. Sony was huge. A lot of people were like, Sony won, Sony won. I don't really think there's any winners. I'm just a guy who loves video games. I just want to play. I just want to have fun. So the more the better, you know. I don't really pick sides, though. When you live on a budget, it sucks because then you kind of do have to pick sides. Like which one is better? I always pick the one that had more friends. Now that PC is kind of what I do, I do keep yawning, motherfucker. I do pick, you know, out of all the things, I probably would pick Sony or the Wii. Nintendo stuff, the Wii U thing, because of the games. You know, eventually when I work and stuff, I'll have everything. And maybe I'll be able to actually record/stream some of these things when I get money and actually get an internal capture card to play console games and exclusive stuff. Because that's what sucks. I understand exclusives. I'm not a PC guy who's like, why can't they put it to us? No, I understand completely. And it just sucks when you can't actually obtain the system to play it. But yeah. They showed God of War. Very, very interesting change. Hopefully, because here's the thing, it seems like a lot of Sony stuff, they're really aiming with that Naughty Dog / like Last of Us like fighting / camera angle. And don't get me wrong, it's fine, but you're starting to take away what made what Last of Us good just average now. It's like, oh, I don't know. It's starting to be a little like, oh, it's this, it's this, it's this. It's like, I don't know. God of War was always kind of that far away camera angle, beat 'em up, hack and slash thing, or whatever the fuck it's called, style and all the blood and stuff. It's still early on. It could always change. It might have just been from more cinematic, but they did show fighting, and so it was kind of the same. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. I'm surprised that a lot of people are really excited, more even God of War fans. I was actually expecting people to kind of be more pissed towards that camera angle. And just that change, but I don't know. It's cool to see Kratos back. We'll see what happens there. Interesting change. Just wondering how it will feel when you actually play the game. That's really what I'm wondering. Then Days Gone, a new IP, I guess. It looks pretty cool from the trailer, and I don't know if you want to call it gameplay. I really don't know if it was really gameplay or if it was really fit with the trailer. It looks interesting. I really just wonder what the hell it's gonna be though. Like, yes, there's zombie slash crazy, whatever the fuck you want to call them in that one. I understand that, and I've never had a problem with a zombie game. Like, I get it. Some people are like, "Oh, why do you have to rehash it?" Or if you're gonna do something with zombies, you got to make it different. I'm not closed-minded to things like this. I just like video games. I'm not a judgmental a-hole, so um, and like I'm not like some dude. I'm brutally honest with things too. I really don't give a fuck. But it looks interesting, but I don't know what the game is gonna be. Like, is there like more? Is it gonna be story like? I know that they said something about a State of Decay 2 for Xbox or something like that. I think they announced it. But is it going to be in that sense? Is it going to be like we help settlements? Like I think the guy said he was a bounty hunter or something, didn't he, or something like that? Like, are we going to learn about this character? Is there going to be conflicts of things? Like, is he trying to build back society? Is he just not giving a fuck? And he's just surviving. Like, was he even the character that we're being? Like, was that just for the trailer and just showing how the guy dies, and then we're gonna play as our own? Like, what the fuck is going to happen? Like, there could be so many things to it being a style of like State of Decay, and at the same time, it could be, very, I don't know, survival. Like, I just don't really know what it could be. It could be a lot of things. So we'll see. Last Guardian, no idea what that the hell it is. I know it got like delayed, and a lot of people are excited for it. It's cool and interesting art design. Not sure if I'll play. Um, what was it? Horizon Zero Dawn looks pretty cool. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's just The Witcher. It's The Witcher." It's like, so because open field, third person bow slash just fighting in general just equals The Witcher. I hate that everyone goes like everything down to the wire is this game, it's that game. It's like fucking Christ. Let like developers work hard, and at first it's probably a compliment, but it feels like it's got to be annoying to be like, oh yeah, you just made The Witcher, but with a female protagonist. Yeah, and she's a bow, and there's instead of fighting griffins and things like that, we're against robots. It's like I don't fucking know. It's like the Lawbreakers game. It's like, it's Overwatch. This is just like Overwatch. It's like it's because it's got a champion kind of shooter. Not really. They're two different games. I don't know. People are just like to make comparisons. It just happens. Welcome to the internet. It looks cool. Like I don't like. It looks beautiful of a game. Though again, watching through things compared to actually playing it on your own monitor slash TV. Always is a huge difference. I've watched a lot of The Witcher bits and pieces, and then I actually, like, I have no idea what the fuck goes on in the game. I've never actually played the third one. Then I actually launched it, and I was like, holy fuck, this game's actually really gorgeous. So, again, wondering what the story will be like in that one. Is it gonna just be a lot of just gameplay quest style mission things? Is it going to actually have a very in-depth story? Like, I didn't really look into what Horizon will be. It just looks really interesting with the bow, the mechanics of it that they were showing. Looks really fun though. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Again, I can't make too many opinion-based things. I can't judge things because these are just showings, demos, and things like that. These aren't the full game. I can't say anything. Hell, I'm not a reviewer either. I'm not going to sit here, like, until I could get my hands on the game and actually play it, then I can't judge the game. I'm not going to judge the game until I can review and, like, actually play the game myself. So there'll be that. Was it Detroit Become Human or something like that it was called? It's an interesting choice-making game. What is it, by David Cage or something like that? Like one of those types of games, what was it, Heavy Rain and shit? Interesting. Looks interesting. Again, a lot of people are like, God, how could people make these games? They're just cinematic stories. You don't do anything. It's like, people must have never watched Telltale games. You know that half the game, it's very cinematic with choices. Like, granted, a lot of your choices in the end don't really fucking matter. It just ends up changing, like, one to two things and one or two different characters getting killed. They're not hugely different if you actually look at it from a different perspective when you're not playing it. But in the end, it's like it's still like people enjoy those games for the story and just the experience you go through. If you don't like it and have to shit on it, it's not your game. But I don't know. I'm not a guy who likes to spread hate and negativity to everything. So there's just that. So it looks interesting. I don't know how crazy the choices are going to be. And what more there is to the game. Hopefully, it's not just that rooftop thing that they showed. Um, so we'll see what happens. Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 got announced. It was pretty fucking hype. Yeah, they said stuff about it being PSVR or something too. Like, it kind of sucks if they're going to go into the route of trying to make it too VR-like. And I mean, every horror game can be better with VR, but I don't know. Hopefully, it'll still be fun to play without VR. Because I'm not really big into it, and also I just don't have the money to fucking afford that shit. Um, but it is going to be on PC and everything else because Capcom. I don't think they have. I don't know. I think Capcom and Sony have been around doing things together for a long time, so it's not like. I think that's why Sony announced it instead. Um, we're the ones to announce it. Plus, Capcom doesn't really have a conference or anything. Um, it looks interesting going to that horror kind of creepy atmosphere. Again, people who play the demo and teaser thing, that's like nothing to do with the gameplay. There will be guns and shit, but it's not going to be like what it was. Like you're not going to be super action hero Chris Redfield anymore. Like they want to go back to like, look, you were just a special agent trained, like a special forces guy. You weren't anything. Like you were just a dude who had a pistol and maybe a melee weapon. So in my mind, I'm just wondering how will it actually be? Will it be like the original in a sense of okay, you have a gun, you have ammo, and you have a weapon. Not a lot of ammo. The weapon kind of sucks, and so you only use it in tight situations slash boss fights. You're usually just going to do a lot of running, like just you're going to run away from things. Um, I also what is hopefully, of course, with ammo being scarce, I just wonder with a melee weapon, is it going to have durability? Is it going? Because I don't want a melee weapon and then feel unstoppable in a sense where it's like all fear is gone. I have this weapon. This is my protector. I want it to be something where, okay, I have my weapon because there's a few fighting scenes, and then maybe there's this parts where you have to like hide, and it's very high tension, and nerve wracking, or creepy, or is it going to be my weapon is here, but it sucks. It doesn't actually kill whatever the fuck I'm trying to fight. Like, there's so many like possibilities of how will this go. Um, you know, I don't know. It's just wondering because I like that's the thing. Like everything could have a creepy atmosphere, but the moment you have a weapon that you know that can defend you, whether it's melee, a gun only has so much use until the ammo's gone. But I'm gonna say, I don't want to just take away that creepy factor because I have a knife. So, who know, or like a baton or something that beats someone's ass, like a hatchet or something. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm excited anyway. That it's just not going in that direction of what uh, 5 and 6, and even 4. 4 was good, but they went out of line after that. So 4 was kind of the rising and drop of it all. Um, New Final Fantasy was shown. Not sure if they're making this for PC yet or at all. I know they said they would take a look at maybe doing it, but looked interesting. The VR thing looked kind of what the fuck. I don't know about that. They showed a bunch of VR games too that they wanted to do. The Final Fantasy game looks as crazy as all the other Final Fantasy. Crazy pretty guy beating the shit out of things. Looks like just a grand old blast of a time. Probably grindy as shit, but me, I like that stuff. I played Final Fantasy X. I do want to eventually go through 7, like even the older one, I'm not saying the remake one. At one point or another, I do want to play through 12. I never did. They even announced 12 at one point too that they were going to remake 12, but the Zodiac one, but John hates because he doesn't like limitations because apparently that one's the one with classes and shit. So I don't know. We'll see. Crash Bandicoot, I think, is getting remastered. If not that, it was just a joke towards Skylanders. I don't fucking know. I don't know what that was. But then they had Call of Duty. Usual, I didn't really care. I didn't really care for Call of Duty stuff. Like, the gameplay just looked the same to me, just with future stuff. I'm not a Call of Duty hater. I used to enjoy playing Call of Duty. I don't like futuristic things that can be very ridiculous because it's like, oh no, you died, but now we can have, because we're in the future, you can come. It's like you can expand this to a lot of bullshit, and it's like, I don't know. I don't like it. Death Stranded. Hideo Kojima or whatever, fucking made an appearance to show off a Norman Reedus thing again that they were going to try to do with PT that got shut down. Glad to see him back. Sucks that he's not going to do any more Metal Gear things. I really love the Metal Gear series, so it's good to see him back. Interested to see what the fuck this game is going to be about. Apparently, it's supposed to be an action game, from what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see what the hell happens. Very interested to go from what they were going to do a horror game with them, like a Silent Hill game, to this. So we'll see what happens. I was really, really excited to see this. Again, I'm excited even though I don't have the console. So, like, I may not actually get to play it unless I start working to make fucking money. I was really excited to see Spider-Man getting a game. They've made amazing Spider-Man games. And, they were kind of shitty, kind of meh. They weren't that great. A lot of games with heroes aren't always that good. But this is made by, I think, the people that have done Ratchet and Clank. So it's nice to see that a quote unquote real dev team work on a Spider-Man game. Really hoping that this one will be a good one. So really want a PS4 now because of this shit. But it was really good. The PlayStation, Sony just came out fucking swinging. They just went out throwing everything they got. Like, you want this, you get this, you're getting this, you got that, there you go, you're done. And none of the music in the games that they showed was there. Like, they had live orchestra, I think, for that. I think that was Sony. For the games they did, that had gameplay, so that's pretty fucking cool. Then the Nintendo thing happened. I missed the talk about Pokemon. Okay, so here's the thing with Zelda. People are like, what's the big fucking deal? It's literally the same game, or it's Zelda, but with everything that somebody else has done. So why are we excited for this? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, were you excited for Borderlands? Borderlands was a shooting RPG game that everyone was really excited for. Yes, I was excited for Borderlands 1. You know that Fallout original it wasn't first person, but it was a shooting RPG game, right? Fallout did that, so RPG with guns was not out of the ordinary. Though what they did with the guns and things like that, yeah, that was different. They had a lot of cool concept, but this was a new team. I don't know if Gearbox was that new, but I'm saying is like a new people, like just a new take on RPG and shooting. So, Nintendo has never really done something like this. Zelda has never been what this is. It's always been pretty much kind of a linear, do this, do that. The game still has all of its, roots, all the same, like, things that make it what it is. The same, like, formula here. We still gotta go to caves, probably. We still can't go to specific ones without the other equipment that we need. And the story isn't right in your face. It's probably gonna, and I'm not gonna say like Dark Souls, but like it might be very lore heavy, but I think the story is given to you as you go. You have to read the atmosphere to the story yourself, especially if you know the lore and all that, and then story will kind of develop as time goes on. And just the fact that it's armor grabbing instead of just Link's one tunic, or the 3 colored ones, or whatever. The fact that you can use any other weapon than just the sword, and just whatever item you pick up that's random. It's their take on this whole thing, and that's what makes it different. That's why it's like, holy shit, they're going out the window with this. Like, they could literally have just made another Zelda game the same as before, with like 1 or 2 different mechanics, with another story, but they didn't. They went above and beyond to do what they've done with this. I will probably be doing another little special talk time with John to kind of just talk about it, because he's a diehard Zelda fan, so we can kind of have some discussion about that. It'll probably be on another video. It's not going to be the next real talk time, but it'll be like a talk time special with John on Zelda talk, because I know we've been talking a lot about it, so we'll see. We can get like a fan's opinion on it, on the whole thing. So we'll see with that. But in my mind, it's just, I don't know. That's where I think it will. That's why it's so excited. Zelda wasn't this, but now they got what their vision is. This is what they've been wanting to do, but probably have been waiting for. So in my head, it's awesome. It's great. Some people are like, well, "What's the big deal?" They, Skyrim. It's. I don't know. That's just me. I'm excited because it's different for them. It's like their take. It could be the exact same shit every game has. It could be armor pickups. It could be weapon pickups. It can have cooking. It can have... I don't give a fuck if other games have done it. Zelda has not. And it's not because I'm not even a diehard Zelda fan. I barely know what the fuck's happening besides the fact there are different generations of Link. Ganon shit's happening. Hyrule gets destroyed. There's some other thing. Like, I don't know the story very well. I'm just as fucking confused as an average person who just is looking at Zelda. Or someone who's played Metal Gear Solid, who doesn't go through all the facts and is still fucking figuring out what the hell that's going on. That's what the game is to me. I don't fucking know. But just the idea of Zelda being what it's going to be is just awesome to me. It's like, that's just jumping a gun of what the game was. Just seeing the advancement of the game. And it's not like Nintendo... And Nintendo doesn't try to compete with Sony and Xbox. That shit, like, it's always been Xbox, Sony. Wii or Nintendo has never been a contender. They've just been that third option of, look, you can have some casual fun games and still pretty intensive, like, story / beat 'em ups, whatever, on the Wii U. They've never been crazy. Nintendo's always been the nostalgic factor. That's where they get you with it. And I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I just think generally it's cool. I don't care really for the Pokemon thing. I do enjoy it. I don't know if you needed a whole thing on Pokemon. Most of the time it is just updated graphics, but they do change a little bit of the game, and that's pretty cool. They've been working on these things for a long time. But yeah, the Zelda thing looks really cool. Interested to see how it goes. Me and John will probably have a talk about it at some point. About it, and all around, just have a conversation and record it and shit like that. But yeah, that's just my take. You guys could be like, well, you're just fucking stupid. None of what you said made sense. I don't care. I'm just babbling on. I can't speak of what I'm thinking. Like, to me, it's just an interesting take. It's Nintendo's take on their little survival / like with Zelda. I'm interested to see how it goes. Can't wait. Hopefully, it doesn't... like, my only concern is hopefully it doesn't get too empty. Because it is their first time with something like this, so hopefully they know how to kind of balance enemies to the scenery to what it is, because if it gets too empty or it's just nah, and if they don't have it where, like, the better my equipment or gear is, the harder enemies should be, or more prepared for me, like, kind of change it as time progresses with the game, gets harder or something. I don't know. I hope for the game to not be too easy, but not overly impossibly difficult, too. But, I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's just my take on it. So yeah, there you go. That was all the stuff that happened that I know of E3. There might have been other shit I missed. There's a lot of other games that were talked about and announced, like Gwent and fucking shit like that. But I didn't really get into it. This was just me talking about what was shown at the conferences that I was able to see. In my opinion, I don't have any questions I'm going to answer today. This finally, like I said, I always say it's going to be a short one. This will be about 50, a little bit over, maybe under. I don't know. But that was just my opinion on all the things. You guys can ask questions, whether they're Zelda related or anything about the conference. In my opinion on specific games that were talked about, shown, or whatever. I will try to see if John wants to do a special talk time where we just kind of talk about Zelda, also while other games and that he may know of, and so on and so forth that he got to see. I know he didn't watch a lot, but we'll see what we can talk about. Mainly Zelda would be the highest thing that on our list to talk about. for that, just to get a voice of someone who knows a lot of Zelda and has played a lot of it for a long time and watched. So we'll see. We'll see what his take on everything is. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the number 5 episode of Talk Time with me. The number 5, it'll probably be called like Talk Time number 5 special edition when we get, or like special add-on or something when if me and John do, it'll be Talk Time with Basic Fluger. Talk Time with TripletheTDog plus Basic Fluger, something. You'll know in the title, it'll say it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, you got questions you want me to answer, want my opinion on something, what I think of something that may have been talked about at E3 that I may have missed and or just did not talk about today, then feel free to ask via the comments, Twitter, whatever. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.